quiet seaside town, an evil laid to rest centuries ago, has risen. An abandoned fortress deep in the swamp holds a secret that could save the village or destroy it. Now, a band of adventurers sets out to dig up the wounds of the past and bring the light of day to the roots of ruin. This is Tabletop Gold.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tabletop Gold, episode 158 of The Roots of Ruin. Nice to see you here for another adventure in podcasting. My name is Lars Casteen. Welcome to the show. Joined today, as always, by our Matt Humphreys.
Hello. Good this time.
Good this time to you. Zoe Chernicoff is here.
Good this time to all of you.
David Chernicoff, the Tin Man, as they call him, is here.
Good that time. Hi, Lars.
Hi, and Robin Lange is here as well. Hi.
Hi, it's nice that we've stopped alienating our listeners with weird hellos.
Yeah, we really streamlined the heck out of that one.
I don't want to say stop. Can we say pause? Oh, there it is. See?
I would prefer returned to alienating them the old-fashioned way through our things that we say.
Yeah,
our natural selves.
We're done relying on gimmicks to alienate people.
Thank you.
I will say, I just recently saw in our Discord the episode with our third and final alienating hello just like dropped this week, and people on Discord are now like, I can't wait to see what the next alienating hello is going to be. So we're going to disappoint and alienate them like immediately
By not being alienating.
By not being alienating. It's amazing. We're recording this episode in like mid-June-ish, and today is an auspicious day. We're going to get to our game in just a moment, but before we do, Robin, why is today an auspicious day? Why is this week important? What's happening? What's going on?
Today is the first day of a brand new world for me, guys. As of today, I am no longer a classroom teacher.
Wow.
Yesterday was my last day physically at my school. We had 8th grade graduation. I gave a commencement speech. It all went really nicely. And after 13 years, I am moving on from the classroom. To what?
Crazy.
I don't know.
Will it be circus work? Archaeology?
Right. The one thing we know is it will be something that makes complete sense given all of the other jobs you've previously had.
Who knows? Or is it going to be something entirely different and weird?
Yeah, that's
hopefully
cool.
this summer, though, I'll be able to do more work in supporting Lars and all the podcast work, honestly. All the stuff that happens for this, because I love this and I want to spend more time doing this, honestly.
Well, I'm going to give you all of the boring things to do.
All the non-editing things. You mean the things I can do?
That's actually true. The editing is arguably the most boring part of doing this, so you're actually maybe coming out ahead on this. So how do you feel about leaving? How does it feel having this chapter, this 13-year chapter ended? Like
it's bittersweet.
How
I think I'm curious, kind of, you guys, because none of you guys have worked in classrooms. You all have I think between all of us, we have very varied experiences in the job world. But leaving a school feels so different than leaving any other job. As I was mentioning before, so we have this end of the year luncheon at my school, and all, leaving and retiring teachers who have been there past us, for at least a certain number of years gets a nice goodbye. And so there's this nice closure to the job, versus like before that, I've worked in retail and other things like that. Like your last day is just kind of like, oh, cool, that's my last day and whatever. And everyone's like, hey, bye at the end of the day. And maybe you get a drink with some people after work, but that's kind of it. Versus leaving a school, because the end of the year is always a big to-do no matter what.
It's a time of transition for everyone.
Yeah, like it was weird kind of saying goodbye because it just felt like the last day of the school year, like it always does. But it's just me knowing now I'm not going to be coming back at the end of August.
So there's like an extra long sort of period before things are going to start really feeling differently for you, right? Like,
having to go back to beginning of the year meetings. That's going to be the moment when I really, or when I start another job, that's going to be I'm like, oh yeah, life is totally different now.
Yeah.
But it's one like, because we've talked about this before we started recording, Zoe, and I was describing like what my last day was kind of like, and you were saying how different that is from any of your experiences in leaving a job.
Well, yes. I think maybe if we've got some sort of scheme here, corporate law, among the first jobs I ever left and teaching, I like to imagine the goodbyes are pretty different there. I think HR was given like $100 to, buy everyone a drink with or something that they probably didn't do that with. And then
I didn't even get an acknowledgement from HR though until like the last day. When I got an email from because we don't have HR at the moment, but from our business office director saying, "Hey, can we schedule an exit interview?" And I'm like, I've exited.
A
little late on that.
Maybe they'll rehire you in order to do the exit.
When I left my job, or when I lost my job, when my job went away, it was actually I think it might be kind of similar to what you're describing, Robin, because my office was about to move from one skyscraper at the Time Warner Center in Columbus Circle to another skyscraper at Hudson Yards on the west side of Manhattan. And the day that they were supposed to move offices is the day that they laid off 75% of the people that worked there.
Ooh.
So it was kind of like everybody knew there's a big change coming. Oh, and that big change is my job doesn't exist anymore. Very good. Got it. Thank
womp,
you.
Womp.
Well, at least I don't have to go to Hudson Yards now. You say to yourself as you like carry your, banker's box out the front door. But it had I think it had something of a similar feeling though, where people are like, well, see you around, I guess. I don't know.
I'm scanning back over the various last days at jobs that I have had, and some of them were things that I knew were coming and some of them weren't, and some of them were things that I was choosing and some of them weren't. And so there's a pretty good range of emotional tonality to that.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, like I've chosen to leave certain jobs, like retail jobs. There's one job where there was kind of a very awkward situation where I was getting kind of conflicting messages from different people who had control. And then I basically got told, yeah, no, you don't need to come back to the office. Like one day I was like, oh,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
That's awkward.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And that was like a very different situation from here's my 2 weeks notice.
Right.
So this is the best possible outcome is what we're trying to get to. I think this is the happy ending
is
that we're
actually-
going back to Robin's happy story.
It has actually been a nice way to leave a job, I guess, if you're looking at it that way, of getting this kind of, like, I gave my notice back in February. So I've had a long time to work through all of this.
One thing that, like, last day of job makes me think of, Zoe, is that you have at least once, on the occasion of finishing a job, gone immediately to get a tattoo.
That's true. I've only gone immediately once.
I was thinking about that.
The first one I got, which is on my side, I left. This was corporate law. See, I left corporate law with the $100 of drinks I didn't get and
Spent it on a tattoo.
cashed whatever my ridiculous last paycheck was and got a tattoo.
I like that. Robin, consider the tattoo
I've
route.
been actually thinking I might get a tattoo, another tattoo this summer. Finally, one that people can see. So that
let's close this off. Who here has tattoos? I don't have any tattoos. Who does? Robin,
Wait,
you have a tattoo.
Are we
you
raising
just said.
four or don't?
I'm just going to go around and I'm going to say you're going to say yes or no. I don't. Robin, yes, you do. You just said you do. Armat, do you have a tattoo?
I don't have any tattoos. I used to have a
Zoe.
pierced lip, though.
Oh, I used to have a fat lip when I got punched in the face. Zoe, do you have any tattoos?
Yes, on that.
Okay. And David, the Tin Man Chernicoff.
I do not.
Interesting.
The girls
Interesting.
are fastest
Interesting.
and
Just the
boys.
ladies are the ladies are the tough
An
ones.
an interesting thing to consider. And you know what else is an interesting thing to consider is our game. Let's get into it, shall we? Yesterday morning, a squad of officers from Absalom's Star Watch chose to enter the Abomination vaults without your participation. Shortly after their arrival to the dungeon's 8th floor, they were waylaid by the ghost of Belcora Haravex herself and scattered into the swampy lake that stretches throughout this natural subterranean cavern. You've, today, boarded a rowboat maintained by the deep gnome mummies that act as Belcora's hands on this level and started searching for the Star Watch in the western part of that lake. A short distance into your search, you heard the voice of Bertie Graham, the Star Watch's medic, coming weakly from an alcove set into the cavern's wall, shouting that you should run away before some nearby threat kills you. A moment later, a trio of strange, undead creatures appeared from 3 additional caves. These creatures look similar to Belcora's mummies, but with smoke obscuring their faces and 2 bright red glowing eyes behind the smoke. 3 members of the Star Watch team are still missing. The grunt, Torpor Wedge, the magic user, Bevran Dralfo, the captain, Margot Jensen, and also your friend from the Otari Town Guard, Mark. So we're jumping straight into the middle of combat, and here's the situation. The party, all of you are all in a rowboat, set into the cavern wall. About 10 feet above the level of the water, there are 4 smaller caves, almost like alcoves that reach into the wall of this cave. It appears to you now that 3 of those caves contained these strange, faceless, smoking mummies, and one of them held Bertie herself. 2 of whatever these things are jumped in the water and are attacking you while swimming, and one of them is still in its little cave, maybe 30 feet from your rowboat. That creature has just laid eyes on Mag while Bertie Graham has screamed, and that is where we will be picking up from. So this creature, this mummy, it's not a mummy, it's used to be a mummy, locks its eyes on Mag, and I need Mag to make a fortitude save.
This thing of like something's alive and then it dies and becomes a mummy, and then the mummy can also go on to become another thing. This is a lot, man.
They're going through a ton, it is true.
The state of being undead is liminal.
Mag is these piercing, glowing coal-like red eyes piercing Mag's body. How did Mag do on this saving throw?
I've been vamping because I keep trying to make it, and
well, David, I've got good news
not
for you.
rolling.
The system just caught up with you, and you've made it 5 times.
Okay.
Viewers at home are happy to see an avalanche of D20s just flying across the...
It's funny because I can't see any of them because I logged out of the system. So I have no idea what any of them are.
Well, David, let me tell you a number then, shall I?
Please do.
The number that you rolled is a 34.
Okay.
And that is a critical success.
Yeah.
Meaning that Mag is able to shake this off. She is unaffected.
Nice.
This creature, this former mummy, has one more action its turn. It is going to leap into the water. I'm going to tell you something about swimming that we haven't hit on yet because it hasn't really been that essential. The requirement to swim every round is negated if the last action that you take on your turn is to enter the water. So it's like this creature leaps into the water. Splash! It doesn't start sinking immediately. It's afloat. Got it?
Yep.
Great.
Is this one of those things where we're going to find out in like 30 minutes that doesn't apply to us and this is just you cheating?
Yep.
Or do we get
That's
this
right.
too?
Yeah,
Wait
it
to
is
see
definitely me
the rules
cheating.
correction
Okay.
channel.
Well,
Yes. So there's one, speaking of a rules correction, there's one thing that I want to mention that is in your favor. There is a mummy here immediately to the north of your boat that was struck by Mag. I neglected to give that mummy, sorry, it's not a mummy, this undead creature. I neglected to give it the off-guard condition for it being in the water. That means that what we thought was a normal hit was actually a critical hit from Mag.
Oh, right,
And-
of course.
Heck yeah.
Yes. So what that means is that creature took a little bit more damage and it's now clumsy and enfeebled from Mag's crushing rune. So just catching up on that. That didn't affect anything that happened afterwards, so we're catching up on it.
Thank you.
Way to go,
With all of that
Mag.
business out of the way, it is now the turn of another of these undead creatures. Mag, you look down and you see that this creature is swimming at the side of the boat. You look down, you see the eyes glowing, the red reflecting off the surface of the water as this smoke somehow continues to pour off of it, even though it is partially underwater. This mummy reaches up, grabs a hold of Mag, and attempts to throw Mag into the water using the reposition thing, which is new to the game in the remaster.
Chicka wow wow.
So there you go.
Chicka wow wow.
This is a 17 to attempt to reposition you versus your fortitude DC.
Me?
Yes.
That's not going to do it. No.
Okay. It looks like that's a critical failure, meaning that it reaches up, it grabs a hold of you, tries to pull you off of the lake. The rowboat tips back and forth in the water. You get to move them up to 5 feet as though you are repositioning them if you would like to.
Well, that can't be in the boat. There's no room in the boat.
Yeah, essentially the rules for reposition are you can move them 5 feet as long as they stay in your reach. So if you think about like Mag's grabbed a hold of this creature, and Mag can sort of pivot it one way or the other.
Right. So what I'd like to do is move it so that it is so it can't hit Trill anymore.
Great.
So I'll move
Aw.
it. If it's possible to move it northeast so that it's like next to its buddy on top of the boat, or is that out of range? No, that's only 5 feet.
No, that's 5 feet.
Yeah. So let's put it right up. Oh, I guess then it can hit AO. All right, I'll put it in the other spot. I'll just move it north instead, so the only person it can reach is me.
So this creature reaches up, grabs a hold of Mag, slips, and Mag throws it into the water, and it splashes forward. It's got 2 more actions. What do you say we do some frickin' damage with these things? Let's see if that's something that can happen. We mentioned last time that you have cover against this creature if it's trying to strike at you because it's trying to reach up over the rowboat.
No.
So this is probably not going to work, but you never know. Here comes a strike against Mag. This creature lashes out again and tries to get its hands onto Mag. That is a 27 to hit Mag, and Mag's AC is 2 higher from cover.
So that ties my AC, which means that it still hits though.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So this creature reaches up and does a combination of bludgeoning as it punches at you and negative damage as well, which I guess is now void damage. That's a total of 22 points of damage to Mag. This creature is now going to swim, which is a move action, which is happening right in front of Mag.
Then
Isthon, too.
And Isthon.
And
So
Isthon.
this can trigger 2 reactive strikes as it tries to swim so it doesn't sink.
yes. Well, I would like to reactively strike it, please.
Great.
Boo, 21.
That misses.
That was a
Mag's
3.
Earthbreaker
Wow.
splashes into the water. And how about Isthon?
24 to hit.
Okay, that misses too. So 2 quick misses from Mag and Isthon as this creature treads water a short distance off the bow of this rowboat. It is now Isthon's turn. Isthon, on the rowboat. It is swaying back and forth underneath your feet as this frantic combat has kicked off in this waterway. What are you going to do?
I think Isthon is going to look over at Ao and say, "Hey, Ao, I'll make a bet with you. If I can kill more monsters in this combat than you can, you have to tell me a story about growing up." And then he goes on to make a spell strike to really punctuate his point.
Ao, her eyes narrow at him, and she seems intrigued by this, but non-committal.
Cool. Love it. I think I'm going to expend a spell from my new staff as part of this spell strike. I'm going to use Acid Grip, which I've never used before. So we shall see
Armet?
how it goes.
Feel free to do whatever you want to do. However, I would like to remind you that the rules for aquatic combat say that creatures in water have a resistance to acid damage and fire damage.
Totally. Oh, thank you for reminding me. I was thinking of the fire damage, which is why I didn't use ignition. But Let's see. Honestly, I think that then the best thing I can do is just use Electric Arc cantrip, because that seems to be going through. Trill had luck with it previously, so thank you for the reminder.
Okay, let's do this attack roll first.
24 to hit.
That 24 to hit, because it's off guard because it's in the water, but more than that, because of that clumsy from Mag's crushing rune for that critical hit that we caught between episodes, that hits. And also, let's say, not to dismiss it, Courageous Anthem. It's a combination of those three things. Let that hit.
So glad this team is awesome.
Team Awesome. That's what we call ourselves
Yeah.
when we're not the corpse flingers.
So 20 damage from the hit, and they have to make a reflex save against 15 electric.
Okay, here we go. Here comes a reflex save against 15 electricity damage. Ooh, that's bad, y'all. That's a 20.
Oh, well, that I believe is a failure against my DC.
So I'm going to take all of that damage. So I just took 35 damage, and I'm taking an
Ooh.
ongoing D6 of vitality damage from your vitalizing rune. This creature in the water, as you bash at it repeatedly, is nearly dead.
Awesome. I'm going to use now, as his last action, Magus's analysis to try and figure out what the heck these guys are.
Nice.
Great. This is a religion check, but I'll take other stuff too if that's how you're feeling.
No, I'll do religion. I feel like that. I encourage us to use the actual ones. I get a +1 on this though.
Okay, that's what Magus's analysis does?
Yeah.
All right. So that is a success. Ask me a question that you want to know about this. I'll tell you about the creature broadly, but ask me a specific question, please.
Yeah, weakest save. That's always a good.
These creatures are frail. You get a sense that they have a relatively low fortitude.
Nice.
And you get a sense of what this creature is. This is something called a Bodak. When a sentient creature is exposed to an extreme expression of supernatural evil, it shatters them. They've contemplated something so horrible, been exposed to something so bad that it has destroyed all of their who they are, all their personality, and transformed them into this like life-sucking, like more than dead thing that just wants to drain life out of creatures to annihilate life almost in an instinctive way.
Feels Nimbleoth adjacent.
For sure.
Yes.
And these guys are undead, right? Yes, amongst all of that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. These guys are
is
undead.
Relevant to my interests.
It shatters your mind and it leaves you like undead in a body that continues living on after death.
That doesn't
That's
sound
metal
fun.
as hell. Yeah.
And that's Isthin's turn. Isthin launches an electrical attack right over Ao's head, and it is now Ao's turn.
Well, let's start. Chompers is out. This friend is flailing. Hopefully soon to be an ex-friend. So Ao is just going to fire a quick arrow at the one. She's like, "You're on, Isthin." And
Before you're able to get that strike off, you see you catch a glance of its eyes, and I need you to make a fortitude save. You have been drained previously. Your fortitude is low.
It is.
because of that.
And it was an 18, which I can't imagine is great.
It is not great. But one thing that is great is that I regain 5 temporary hit points. You would become drained 1, but you're already drained something or other, so I'm not you're already drained 2, so I'm not too worried. So
I am. That's easy for you to say.
but I'm saying it doesn't add to your drained. It doesn't
Gotcha.
like boost your drained more. So
Stat.
This is like how I feel every day at 4 p.m. Like you just can't
Drain
get
two.
more drained
I'm drained
from
too,
this.
guys.
Yeah.
makes no
Okay.
sense.
So whatever that meant for me, now I'm firing off a tired but determined arrow.
Just like you do at 4:02 p.m. every day.
And that's a 36.
That 36 is a critical hit. Ao is launching perfect shots.
She's very close. That's 42 damage.
Okay. Wow. It's starting to look like maybe Ao should have taken that bet with Isthin because Ao has just destroyed one of these undead creatures trying to climb up onto the boat.
All right. So there's the other two are also off guard, what with being splishy splashy and all.
Yes.
So she's gonna pivot and shout, "Hang on, Birdie!" And fire an arrow at the one that is right by Mag, the one to the northwest of the boat, the closer one. That's a 20 to hit.
That misses. The arrow splashes into the water, and you hear a shout coming back, a weak shout coming back from one of these caves. Just stay safe. Stay safe. Run if you have to.
Ao's gonna pull out a scroll.
Okay, 2 quick shots from Chompers, and a scroll enters Ao's hand as it is now Trill's turn. Trill, drained 2, doomed 1. What will you do?
So she's gonna Dirge of Doom these guys to try and debuff them.
Okay,
So both of those guys should now be frightened 1.
got it.
And then for Trill's second action, I think she's gonna rub the hunter's brooch that's attached to her little capelet, and pull out Vitality Lash.
There you go.
Okay. The brooch of Asefna Menhamez herself, an artifact, an icon of the Rose Guard.
It's a good one. And I think I'm going to cast Vitality Lash on the one that's farthest, actually. No, I guess on the one that's closest. Yeah, the one that's bare, and because that's got a little bit of injury on it. So they've got to do a Fortitude save.
Great. Fortitude save. Here we go. 20 on the die. Critical success.
Let's see what they avoided. 18 damage.
They avoided 18
Bummer.
damage. It's true.
Oh, that would have been nice. Oh well, that's Trill's turn.
Trill sings a scary song and casts a spell that this undead creature somehow fully resists.
With its, considering Fortitude is its worst save.
Yep.
It's hard to
but
beat a 20.
That's hard to
It
beat a
is
20. It is
hard.
Mag's turn. Mag, what will you do?
Is there such a thing as rowing the boat into something and crushing it? It looks like it's between a rock and a hard place, and Mag steering the boat is the hard place.
The answer is yes. It's a 3-action activity. As you're piloting the boat, you can essentially ram the any creature that your vehicle is fast enough to hit, is basically how it works.
Yeah.
But there's a set amount of damage that is done to the boat, to the creature, and to you. And I'll let you know that amount of damage for a rowboat is not significant compared to the amount of damage that man can do with a hammer.
Yeah.
So you can ram this creature and do 2d4 collision damage with a DC 14 check to not take damage.
Okay. So I can have a 25% chance of doing an average of 4 damage using all 3 of my actions, and probably capsizing us all and dunking us all into the water somewhere where there's nowhere to swim to safety. Or I could hit it with a hammer.
Yeah, so how this plays out thematically as Mag considers this is something probably like she looks at these creatures and she's like, wow, these creatures look really tough. She looks at her rowboat and she's like, wow, my rowboat sucks.
Does not
That's like pretty much, I think, how that plays out thematically.
Yeah. I would like to start by grabbing it.
Okay, grabbing the creature in the water. Okay.
That is a 36. grapple
Well,
it.
let me tell you something, brother. That's a great strategy because this creature is restrained, which means that it can it's going to immobilize them, and they can't take any attack or manipulate actions except for to try to escape.
Give it a wedgie. Give it a wedgie.
It's one of the worst conditions in the game,
Delightful.
and you did it easily.
Yes. Can't do that with assurance. All right.
Wait, hold on a second. I'm going to do a little.
All right. Let's see if you can do it with
quick.
assurance.
Go, keep
Okay.
going. Don't worry about my nonsense.
Now that it's grabbed, I want to row away from Birdie in her little cave, and row closer to the third one of these adversaries, and who knows, possibly a fourth one that's still concealed, over to the west. And since I'm now like restraining it, I'm hoping that I can still pilot the rowboat and haul this thing along with us. I might have to drop my weapon to do that, but
Yeah, the weapon's going to get dropped. To answer your question about assurance athletics, you would have been able to grab it with assurance, but you would not have restrained it.
yeah, I wouldn't have crit succeeded.
So we're kind of in uncharted territory here. I'm going to say that trying to steer a rowboat with one hand is going to make this slightly more difficult.
Yeah.
This is a trivially easy thing for you to do anyway, so I'm not sure that even really matters. I'm kind of just thinking out loud right now. So the way that your action economy works is 1 action grapple, 2 action grab the row, your third action is going to be your piloting check, okay?
Okay.
So that's going to be a DC.
Oh, that's 2 actions, right? Because I have to pick up the oar. Damn
Yeah.
it. I wanted to
So
hit
that's
it
gonna
again
be-
and do this. All right, yeah, go ahead.
But that's going to be a DC 16 athletics check. I'm going to bump that up to DC 20 athletics check because I think this is a very difficult thing that you're trying to do. And if you succeed on this piloting check, you will move the rowboat
I think this isn't...
20 feet.
yeah, I think
And I'm going to say that you can drag this Bodak along with you all 20 feet if you'd like to.
Okay, I'm sorry to have put you through all of that. I was imagining this would be grab, attack, and then row, but I can't do it. I'm out of actions because I have to drop the weapon and pick up the oars. And I would rather do the attack than do this like incredibly elaborate move as well. So,
If I may,
yes,
just to give you something to think about.
sure.
When you successfully grapple a creature, I believe that goes until the end of your next turn. So if you're still holding on to this creature on your next turn, you will have more actions to drag this along before your grapple disappears at the end of your turn.
Right. Okay, yeah, well, I'm going to... Then, either way, I'm going to hit it and possibly end it now. Let's see what happens.
I like this thinking.
This one takes a map, yeah.
It does, yes.
Yeah.
Grapple is
Grapple
an attack.
is an attack. That's only 20 to hit.
Okay.
She's now going to try and demoralize it.
Okay.
Yeah. So what would she say? She would probably say something like,
That does sound like Mag.
I just want to paint a picture as Mag is screaming inches away from this creature's face. This creature's face is a drape of white hair with smoke pouring out from the spaces between the hair and these like little red dots of like embers where eyes should be. So this
Yes.
is a strange and intense. This is like a cover of a metal album. The barbarian screaming in the Bodak's face.
right, the barbarian with her red eyes screaming into the the red disembodied eyes of this like smoke monster.
I'd buy that album.
And that is a prototypically weak roll for a demoralized check for Mag. That is a 5 on the die for a 20.
Okay. That means that it is not afraid. It just sort of wordlessly goes in your face as the smoke continues to pour past your red hair. Yes.
Question that I probably should have asked before Mag did that. Since they're already frightened one, even if
Oh, from
Mag had
Dirge of
demoralized,
Doom.
would that have done anything?
It wouldn't.
It makes their check lower, and if he had critically succeeded, they would have been frightened too.
Okay.
So it can stack, but only if I crit.
Yeah, it doesn't stack. It's just that it's just that a critical success on Demoralize gives frightened 2.
I see,
They don't
I see.
stack. It's
So it
just the higher
overrides
value
the frightened
replaces
one.
the lower.
The only point in doing that was had I critically succeeded, it would have got it. All right.
But
Well, good point.
also, it was awesome.
It was awesome, and I didn't really have anything better to do. So, I thought,
And
all right.
you're on a rowboat. You got nothing else going on, man. I would have jumped in and been like, no, but instead I thought it was appropriate, so
Yeah.
I let it ride all the way down.
Well, that's
Every
my
now
turn.
and then, I like our little kind of rules clarification. People seem
Of
to like
course.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what else people like is round 3 of this combat. Here's the situation. We are on a rowboat in the middle of a subterranean river, lazily the water passing by 4 sinister caves as undead creatures, Bodaks, with smoke pouring off of their faces, swim towards you to attempt to drain you of your life essence and throw you into the water. The first creature that is going here in round 1 is this Bodak that is in the water itself. It's going to make an athletics check to swim. I want to beat a 15. I want to beat a 10. I want to beat a 10 by a lot. I rolled a 29. It's a critical success. It can move 15 feet, so it swims straight up to the boat. Trill, you look down. You see this creature swim. It clambers up on the boat. It grabs a hold of Trill, who is drained, and it tries to reposition her into the water.
Grabbing is an attack action, right?
It is.
And I have not done any action against this particular creature, right?
You have not.
So I think Trill finally gets to use empathetic plea.
So tell me what this looks like, and then let's make a roll. Or whatever it is. that
So
happens.
attacked by a creature you haven't acted hostile towards. So this is a reaction before the creature rolls its attack, and I'm going to be doing a diplomacy check against the attacker's will DC.
Okay. I'm going to say that you're playing the scary song. I'm going to call that not a hostile action. I listen to scary music all the time, and I don't think that people are trying to hurt me. So
Well,
that's
thank
fine.
you. And because of versatile performance, she gets to use a performance check for demoralize. And let's see how that rolls. How that rolls out. That is a 26.
Okay. That is a failure. So
Darn.
you attempt to get it to
Puppy
not
dog
attack you
eyes.
with puppy dog eyes. The creature is unaffected, and it is temporarily immune to your empathetic plea.
I tried.
So I'm going to make an athletics check versus your fortitude DC, which is lowered by the fact that you have been drained by the glimpses from these creatures.
Yeah, my fortitude sucks right now, so I think you're going to be fine.
I rolled a 20 on the die.
Wow.
My fortitude DC is a 9.
I move the
Seems
creature
higher.
up to 10 feet. It must remain in your reach during this movement, and you can't move it into or through obstacles. It reaches up into the boat, grabs Trill by her collar, and swings it all the way behind it into the water. Trill is
Do I get a
now-
reactive strike there?
Exactly.
On
It's
Trill?
not a manipulate action to throw a gnome off a boat.
It's an attack.
You're an
Action.
attack.
I am. It's true.
I feel attacked.
It's damn true. You are. I attacked you, so that's reasonable. And now that Trill is in the water, she is going to become flat-footed,
Cool.
and she is going to get various other things happening to her for being in aquatic combat. This creature,
Fingers are going to get pruny.
Ooh.
that's true, sees Trill behind her, whips around, and bam, slams at her with a fist. 16 on the die, a 27 to hit.
That's a hit with my lowered AC as well, amongst other things.
18 points of damage to Trill as she feels negative energy and the weight of this creature's fist land on top of her.
Oof. Don't like
And
it.
now the creature that is held by Mag wriggles to get free. It can do other things. It can't take manipulate or attack actions. This creature we've already established is face to face with Mag. It locks eyes with her and just its eyes flash red straight in Mag's face, and I need a fortitude save from Mag.
30.
That is a success. It tries to wriggle free. This is an escape attempt. It's not good. I don't know. I rolled a 20 on the die.
No.
What is with all of these
joke.
20s? Cheater.
We talked about the cheating
Wow.
at the outset.
It wriggles free, splashes into the water,
Wow.
and because it entered the water on its last action, it doesn't need to swim.
Wow.
It is Isthen's turn.
Oh, man.
Istin, beat them up for me.
Yeah,
For real.
totally. These Bodaks are...
Bogus.
Yeah. Istin is going to blast out an electric arc, targeting both Bodaks. So they need to do a basic save against this or take 13 electricity.
Okay, they attempt to save, dodging out of the way of this electrical energy. One of them gets a 21, the other one gets a 31.
Okay, the 21 is a fail. The 31 is a success.
Okay, the one that failed is the one that just dropped out of Mag's hands. So it takes 13 points of damage, and the other one sizzles around and takes 6 points of damage.
And then Istin is going to use his conflux spell, Spinning Staff, and quickly lash out at both of them, delivering strikes to, hopefully, each of them, and recharging his spell strike at the same time.
One action, 2 attacks, and a spell strike recharge. It's very, very good.
I'm going to say first attack is going to be at the one that Mag just had to drop. 31.
That hits, even as you're
Awesome.
swinging through Mag.
13 damage. Not great, but...
Okay,
could be
13
worse.
damage and a d6 of persistent vitality damage.
And then a -5 map at the other one. 18.
That misses. Clonk against the rowboat as that strike misses its target.
And that's his turn.
Okay. It is now Ao's turn. Since your last turn, a number of things have changed. Trill has been pulled out of the boat and is swimming in the water a short distance away from you, while these 2 Bodaks are still struggling to stay afloat. What will you do?
Okay, so first thing Ao is going to do, she is afraid that this Bodak that grabbed Trill is trying to like run off with her or might hurt her or something. So she casts Slow from the scroll that she pulled out last turn on at towards whatever the correct phrase is here.
Among.
That Bodak.
About.
Unto.
Betwixt.
Here we go. Fortitude save. A bad save for this creature, to be certain.
Except for all the 20s that you're cheating with.
I rolled a 9 on my die for a total of 22 versus your spellcasting DC.
It's a 24.
I fail. You're going to see how good this spell is now, y'all. This is
man.
the best spell in the game, in my opinion. The target is slowed 1 for a minute. It means I
was
get
good.
1 fewer action per
Oh, it's
turn.
a minute. I didn't realize
And,
that. I thought it was just your
when
next
one of your
turn.
actions has to be swim, that's pretty good.
If I succeed, it's a round. If I fail, it's a minute. If I critically fail, I stop playing the game and I log off and I go home.
No, that's
Then
it.
you go cry.
Thank you for coming.
I'm done. I hate it so much.
I need more of these scrolls, is what I'm learning.
Yeah, I get to be slowed too if I critically fail, which means I get 1 action, which if I'm a spellcaster, which I sometimes am, it means that I'm done. It means that's the end of the encounter.
Okay. Well, having accomplished that, Chomper's still out. She's going to pivot back to the one to the north and fire an arrow at it. It's a 36.
It's a critical hit because it is off guard to you in the water.
Splish, splash.
AO is only rolling criticals this combat.
That does seem to be the thing.
Seriously.
Slightly
That's,
lower.
I'm okay with that.
She's taking the bet with this then very seriously. 38 points of damage on that.
It's a huge hit. I have to give you a hero point. That is just like too monumental a turn for me to not throw a hero point at.
All right.
Disgusting. I'm mad about it, but you did a great. It's just too good.
Do you want to know the even better news?
What's
I
that?
believe I still have one more action.
Why?
Oh no, casting the spell is 2. I lied.
Why would you
right?
say that?
You're
right. Trill sees this Bodak in the water start moving in slow motion as it's treading water slowly. It's her turn. What is she going to do?
Yeah, so Trill's going to move 10 feet, so she's not directly next to that guy anymore. And then I think we're going to try Vitality Lash again, honestly, on the one who, I guess we'll go for the one that's badly injured again. Just try and knock one of them out.
Casting spells in the water. My God.
I mean, what else am I going to do? It's what she does.
Have you considered hitting it with a hammer?
I don't have a hammer.
Okay.
I'd lend
Okay,
one.
so that guy's got to do another fortitude save. Here's hoping he doesn't roll a 20 again, because he keeps rolling 20s.
7, a total of 20.
Okay, so that is a failure. So I'm now going to
Alright.
roll a whole bunch of d6s. So that is 20 hit point, 20 points, 20 damage.
And that vitality damage wraps around this creature and starts singeing its undead flesh as it takes all 20 points of those damage. Robin, just so you know, I think you can go one more space if you want to. I think you went a total of 5. If you wanted to go
it went
5
on the
more, you could go
diagonal?
here. So the
And
first
so-
diagonal is 5, and then you can go, the
Okay,
second
the
diagonal is 10. You could go,
The game registered it as 10, so I just followed what the thing said.
I'm with you.
I was trying not to cheat, like some people.
Yeah, why would you try to do that? Cheating is great. Okay.
Yeah, it would have been great if he had critically failed that. 'Cause then he also would have been enfeebled.
Mm-hmm.
Alas. Okay, that's everything. Trill's still alive.
Mag, you see Trill frantically swim towards one of these caves to get away from these Bodaks. You have a sense that maybe they will pursue her. What are you going to do?
Exit pursued by Bodak.
Can you grab 2 things?
Yes, but you'd have to have 2 hands free.
All right. First, I'd like to try and grab the Bodak that is to the south, the one that approached us most recently.
The one that slammed Trill.
And now I know how to do that. I go right down here, and I hit grapple, and then I restrain it forever. 33.
Well, I've got good news for you. Because of your lifting belt that you're wearing and your furious bully feat that you took this level, you have restrained it forever.
Okay.
You managed to
Wow.
grab a hold of it. Its arms are pinned behind its back. It is not going anywhere and doing anything other than trying to escape from you.
Yay. All right.
Good job, Mag.
Now I'm
Nice.
going to swing and try to hit the other one. Here is an Earthbreaker strike on the one to the north, still swimming free. 26 to hit.
This off-guard condition that is being given to these creatures because they're in the water is really ruining my day. That is a hit only because it's swimming.
Oh, that's barbarian stuff. 18 damage.
Bam! You slam the Earthbreaker. Bodak in one hand, hammer in other hand. 18 points of damage.
Iston goes, thanks for not killing it, Mag. I really need to get that one to beat AO.
You're not gonna get it, AO says
Look,
through
that's
great trees.
not your decision, okay? It's entirely on Mag at this point.
Do it, Mag, do it.
I think with,
Don't do it, Mag. Don't you do it.
I think with this super gnarly like double map penalty I'm going to have, I basically need to roll a 20 for this to be worth it, but what the heck? The last one's a 22 to hit.
And that misses.
Okay.
Conventional wisdom is that third attack is rarely worth it. I think it was the right move. in
Yeah,
this
I don't
situation.
think there's
It
much
felt-
else. I
felt
could try
story,
to
right?
try to scare it again. That went super well every other time I've tried to do it for the last 3
You,
years.
in fact, cannot try to scare it again because it is immune to your nonsense.
Right.
Because you failed to scare it earlier.
Yes.
It's the top of round 4, everybody. These 2 Bodaks that are in front of your rowboat and about to turn to pursue Trill are a combination of one of them is slowed and one of them is very, very badly injured. The slow one is wriggling in slow motion against Mag's grasp as Bertie Graham calls out again. Wait, I think, go, you can do it. She shouts out, I think you've got them, you can do it. It is, at the beginning of round 4, the Bodak's turn. Which Bodak? Well, I'll tell you. The one being held by Mag. It's gonna try to drain Mag one more time with its death gaze. Fortitude save as the eyes get large in Mag's face again.
Oh, it
Can it-
worked this time. It's
Do
only a
that
23.
when it's restrained?
It can. It's just its eyes going. Restrained mechanically restricts manipulate and attack actions. This is neither of those.
Hero point?
Yeah. I think I'm going to hero point. Are we breaking off a 5 next time? What episode are we on?
2 from now.
2 from now? All right. I'll hero point that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's more like it. 36.
Okay. That's a critical success. Mag shakes off this thing's gaze, and then it just struggles. It's just wriggling. It goes, as it attempts to escape. Another 19 on the die. for
Wow.
my
This is
Escape
ridiculous.
37 to escape. It once more drops into the water.
I feel like it's like slippery.
Yeah, this is one. Hey, I'm cheating, y'all. I couldn't do that. I'm slow,
What?
guys. In another universe, it struggles and gets loose and falls in the water. Not in this one. It's out of actions. It's slow.
Ooh, it's like that Sliding Doors movie with Gwyneth Paltrow, but Bodak edition.
Yeah. What is
Is
the
its gaze
romantic
2
future of this
actions?
Bodak that fails to yeah, its gaze is 2 actions. Yes. Okay.
Wow.
Nice.
It's the turn of the
Thanks,
Bodak,
Ayo.
this very heavily damaged Bodak in the northwest of the boat. This Bodak is going to swim in front of Mag and Iston.
Well,
I think
yeah. Let's have at, shall we?
I feel like it's like when we had a baby and a toddler. Like you're hoisting the one, David, under your arm, and you've got the hammer, and you're not that we bashed our
what?
toddler with a
What?
hammer.
What?
The whole it's like the
why
having
they're so
one
well
person and an
behaved.
arm and still needing to do.
It's funny
I know. I
because
get
what
it.
you just said was so upsetting, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
Not
Here-
the hitting, but the needing to use the other arm to do important
Here is that
things.
reactive strike against the infant. It is a 20 on the die.
Oh.
It was a risk I was taking by doing this.
nice.
I knew there was a chance it
Nice.
wouldn't pay off.
I'd
I just thought it would. Okay, whatever.
I mean,
here we
Dare
go.
to fail gloriously, Lars. Dare to fail gloriously.
If you miss, you'll land among the stars.
I'm drawing a card. Is it the Ace of Spades?
not.
No, it is the 10 of
Or Matt.
Spades.
The 10 of spades.
The live drop.
So it's how much damage am I
Dancing with the
taking?
Bodak.
36 damage. Oh, yeah.
This Bodak is destroyed the moment that Mag smashes it with her hammer. This is, you can see what it was trying to do is it was trying to swim up to climb into the boat. As it starts reaching to climb into the boat, Mag crushes it underneath the weight of the Earthbreaker and it collapses into the water.
That one doesn't count. Ao yells out.
Iston just looking at Mag is like, how could you? How could you do that? Whose side are you on here?
Also, Ao is still Belcora, by the way. Oh, well. Anyways.
It's Iston's turn as Iston sees Mag totally steal his kill, bro. And it's now Iston's turn.
Okay. Iston is going to use his first action to cast the spell Sure Strike, and then he is going to make a spell strike against the Bodak 27 to hit.
Okay, 2 attack rolls. The highest is a 27, and that hits.
Okay. So that is 11 bludgeoning and a 1d6 persistent vitality. And then it needs to make this save, DC 24 against my Gale Blast spell.
Terrible roll. A 15, almost a critical fail.
Oh, okay. That is another 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Does anything else bad happen to me?
I think on a failure, I can push you 5 feet away.
And this thing is being immobilized by Mag, so if you want to try to break Mag's grasp, you can with a thing, but I'm guessing you probably... Let's just to streamline things, say that it does not
leave him there. Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. That's Istan's turn. I really wanted to kill it. Dang it.
Yeah.
At the end of Istan's turn, Ao sees Istan crack at this creature, and a blast of gale force wind flies out of his staff at the creature. It is now Ao's turn.
She looks at him, smirks slightly, and fires an arrow straight at him.
Don't you dare.
I'm going to hero point that. I want to win this.
No.
This is just Zoe's competitiveness now.
Ao will do anything not to have to disclose anything
for
about herself.
goodness sake. No, I'm hero pointing it again. We're
You
going
can't.
to
You
I
cannot do that.
You won? Oh,
Yeah.
boo.
What did you roll?
That was a 1 on the die. I fall out of the boat.
Okay. We're doing new fumble card rolls, guys. You know our stack of 13 spades that we draw from? We're drawing from those for fumbles also. A lot of times fumble cards makes things worse. This time it can make things better. If I draw the ace of spades from this stack, you will do regular damage. Are you ready?
Oh.
And the stack just is going to cycle every time we fumble, every time we crit. Let's go. Is it the ace of spades?
No,
No.
it's close
The king of spades. It's still a miss.
Well, then, yeah, I'm digging in. So then she goes to fire at it again. She's like, you're not getting off that fast, Volus. She goes to fire again.
Still has Belcora saying all this.
Are you kidding me? All right. I feel like this is the game telling me what's happening. I'm not wasting another hero point.
Is it the ace of spades?
No, it's the 9 of spades. I miss. Can she figure out anything about like Birdie or what they like? Any other parts of the story of what's happened here, or signs of other Star Watch, like sort of the underlying conditions that led to this? Can she do a recall knowledge of some sort?
Yeah, I think that sounds like it's potentially a survival check if you're trying to see who came through here, trying to track what's going on.
Medicine?
I'll say that you can get a quick glance at Birdie as she crawls to the front of the cave, so you can see how she's doing if you'd like.
All right, let's do that.
Okay, let's get a medicine check to determine that.
Now the numbers are high. That's a 29.
Okay, you can see that Birdie looks physically beaten. She's sort of, she's crawled out to the surface of the cave and she says, "There's just one more. You can do it. Just one more." You also get the sense that she looks badly, badly drained, as though she was subjected to the worst of these glances that these Bodaks are able to subject to people. She looks as though she has been drained about as much as she can be. Like it's like she's lost a lot of blood, but it's happened through like magical means.
Yikes.
Poor Birdie.
As Ao gets a quick look at Birdie, it is Trill's turn. Trill is in the water, about 10
Indeed.
feet, 5 feet away from one of these caves, looking at a Bodak being held in place by Mag, back by the rowboat. What will she do?
Since Trill has to swim, she's going to swim so she's right at the base of the cave that Birdie's in. So Trill's going to phase bolt this guy.
Great.
Cool.
So this is where she points her fingers. Pew, pew, pew. So she's going to roll attack. Let's see how she does. That's a 30.
That hits. The
Oh.
phase bolt slams into the back of the creature held by Mag, this Bodak, held in place by Mag.
Let's go ahead and roll that damage. So that is 16 points of damage.
Okay. Chipping away at the Bodak, it is Mag's turn. Mag, one hand occupied by restraining this creature, the other hand holding the Earthbreaker. What will Mag do?
Definitely interested in ending this.
Is Mag going to win the bet?
Well, yeah, so far we're online for it. Okay, that's a pretty hefty hit. 31.
31 hits.
18 damage.
Chipping away.
Let's chip
Bludgeoning
again.
this Bodak.
Okay.
I just dropped all of my cards. Our precious crit deck is ruined. Did I roll the Ace of Spades?
No. You got the 8.
All right, I'll try and demoralize it. 19.
It looks back at you and goes, smoke pours off of its face. It is not demoralized. Top of round 5. One Bodak left in the water. Let's go.
Was it in the water or is it still in Mag's hands?
It's being dipped into the water like, oh no, it has fallen out of Mag's hands because the grapple went away at the end of Mag's turn.
Oh,
So-
I would have had to read up that. Darn it.
It's going to spend one action climbing up out of the water into the boat.
That has got to trigger a reactive strike.
That has got to trigger a reactive strike.
If anything ever would.
So, one-handed reactive strike it is. Nope. 25 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. Here's your damage. 22 damage.
22 damage. That hits because you are hitting it as it starts to get out of the water. How about Isthan?
27.
27 is also a hit.
Love it. 18 points of damage.
18 points of damage and a d6 of persistent vitality damage. As this creature manages to climb up onto the boat, it has one more action, and it is going to use it by swinging its fist at Isthan. 17 on the die, a 33 to hit.
That will hit.
Isthan takes 17 points of damage, and it is now Isthan's turn.
Oof. All right.
At the end of my turn, I take 6 points of damage from your vitalizing rune. I try to stop taking persistent damage, and I fail. I'm still taking the persistent damage.
Awesome.
Miss. Ao's chanting.
Isthan is going to take an action, recharge his spell strike. So he centers the staff on his sort of center line, aligning it with his chakras, if you will. Takes a breath in, and you see a blue pulse go out the length of the staff. Then he starts winding up, spins it once, and comes cracking down with a spell strike using slashing gust. So the air around it starts whirling, and it's getting hit by a whirlwind as he strikes down.
Sorry,
at it.
a whirlwind?
A whirlwind.
whirlwind.
Yes, I aspirate my H's, and I know it's terrible and weird.
It's terrible and weird.
It's weird. It's super weird. I can't stop it.
Quizar.
It's how bizarre. Okay, do it.
Okay, well, that's shameful. You guys now know my terrible dark secret. Oh, 23 to hit.
23 misses.
I'm gonna hero point that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get that.
Yeah.
This guy has to win.
26 to hit.
That hits.
Woohoo.
Yes. Oh, that's amazing. So exciting. All right, that is 22 damage and D6 persistent vitality.
Okay.
And here is the damage for the slashing gust. 13 points of damage.
Okay, 13 more points of damage, and it is currently sizzling under this vitality damage as well.
Can't believe that didn't do it.
And it is
I'm
almost
so
dead.
sad.
And it is now Ao's turn. Who's going to win the battle? You each are tied up 1-1, right?
I think it's 1-0.
Iston's still at 0. Mag took.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Mag and Ao are 1-1.
You're aiming to draw right now. All right.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know what even happens in Event of a Tie, but it feels important.
It's a deeply serious, this best bet. Yeah.
Oh, gosh, it's tricky. Go out the easy way or
Go out with
Go out.
style.
go out in style. Never want to go out the easy way. All right. It's out of the boat, right? We don't know anything about its resistance.
It's
but
in the boat.
It's in the boat.
Or
It's right
sorry,
next to
it's
you.
it's
The
out of
call's
the water.
coming
Is
from
what
in
I
the
meant
boat.
to say, which means
The
that
call's
it's
from inside the boat.
it's fire and whatever resistance that we knew about from the water is gone.
That's correct. Birdie calls out, I don't know if that's Ao in there. I don't think it's really Belcora Haravex.
She passed her perception check.
Yeah, you started doing things that were not what Belcora would do. So she got a bunch of free perception checks. You can do this. Ao, you can do it.
And Ao just holds up her hand and foxfires this thing straight in the face.
Nice. I don't want to cheer for it, but I have to.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
27 to hit.
That hits.
So little damage. 5 points of damage.
Oh,
Birdie's like, do something better than that.
It was so metal. Like the idea of it was so good.
You really should get them off guard or something.
Oh, it's not off guard, right?
it's on
And
the
I'm not
water.
flanking it. Oh man.
it's been in the off guard the whole time because it's been in the water.
All right. Feeling a sudden moment of sympathy, Ao tries to cast command on this thing.
So I have to make a will save.
Yep.
I roll very well. I roll a 36.
That's annoying. Well, nothing happens.
Okay, you try to command it. It fails to follow your directions. It's Trill's turn. Trill is still in the water. What will Trill do?
Trill's gonna swim to move 5 again, a little closer to Birdie.
Okay.
And then phase bolt seemed to work okay last time. So Trill's
Great.
just gonna phase bolt again. See if she gets a decent attack. Yeah, that's a 31.
Okay. Go ahead and roll damage.
Let's see how we do with this. And that's 12 points of damage.
Closer. Things are looking maybe better for this than in this combat. This creature is on the verge of death.
1,000 tiny bursts of fire.
It is
Lot of-
Mag's turn. Mag, you have the chance to end this encounter and win the contest.
Truly.
Will you do it?
No, I'm going to try and demoralize it 3 times. All right.
Nice. Yeah.
I can switch back to two-handed. That's fun. And
At the beginning of your turn, it takes a look at you and it glances at you and it tries to drain you slightly.
Isn't she immune
Fortitude
to that now?
save.
38.
Okay. You critically succeed.
29 to hit.
That hits. Two-handed slam.
31 damage.
Massive damage roll. Mag, two-handed, slams the Bodak. It goes flying out of the boat, crunches into the wall of the cavern, and drifts down into the water, sinking slowly to the bottom as Birdie Graham looks at you, the 4 of you, and says, "You've saved me. Thank you. Thank you." And she passes out on the floor of the cave. And we will pick up from there next time.
No, I need her to heal me.
It's not happening.
I'm right here.
Roots of Ruin is a Tabletop Gold production produced under the Paizo Incorporated Community Use Policy, using trademarks and copyrights owned by Paizo that are covered under that policy.
Paizo does not recognize, endorse, or sponsor this project in any way, and we are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. All original characters and content in The Roots of Ruin are the property of Tabletop Gold, and all rights are reserved. We at Tabletop Gold would love to hear from you. On our website, tabletopgold.com, you can learn more about us and our shows, pick up great merch, and connect to the best online community in all of podcasting. Thanks for listening.